A woman sits at a writing desk in England, carefully wrapping pieces of jewelry and cloth and laying them in a box. Rings, brooches, a jewel cabinet she once said that was fit for a countess. Nearly 50 pieces in all, and she is giving away almost every one of them. Her hands are not trembling with regret. She's smiling. She would tell a friend later that she had never in her life packed a box with such pleasure. Why would a woman give away a small fortune in jewelry and call it the happiest packing she ever did? Welcome to Lift Up Your Day, a 5-minute devotional, short stories with a biblical heartbeat. I'm Rodney Coe, and today a brilliant young woman who gave away a fortune and called it joy. Her name was Frances Ridley Havergal, born in England in 1836, the youngest child of a country pastor. She was so full of life that her father nicknamed her Little Quicksilver. She was reading by the age of 3 and could outclimb most of the boys in the village. As she grew, she learned Hebrew and Greek and a handful of other languages. And she tucked away enormous portions of Scripture in her memory. The whole New Testament, the Psalms, the book of Isaiah. She had a gift for music and verse as well, and she poured both of them into hymns. But Frances was never strong. Her health was fragile her whole life, and she knew her time on earth might be short. So she refused to waste it. She decided early that everything she owned belonged to Christ. She once said she never spent so much as a sixpence without the quiet sense that the money was his. One evening she was staying in a house with 10 other people. Some of them didn't know the Lord, and the rest of them seemed to have lost all their joy in Him. All through the visit, Frances prayed that God would reach every single one of them. By the last night, He had. Her heart was so full she couldn't sleep, so she sat up in the dark and wrote the hymn that would outlive her by 100 years. Take my life and let it be. Line by line, she handed God everything she had, her hands and her feet, her voice and her lips, her silver and her gold, her will and her heart. And here is what set Frances apart from most of us, who sing songs like that on Sunday and forget them by Monday. She meant them. A few years later, she gathered up her jewelry, nearly 50 pieces, the collection fit for a countess, and shipped almost all of it to a missionary society to be sold for the work of the gospel. She kept back only a brooch or two that had belonged to her parents and a locket holding the picture of a little niece who had already gone on to heaven. Then she wrote to her friend, "I don't think I ever packed a box with such pleasure." Frances died at just 42 years old, but that song she gave away on a sleepless night is still being sung today in 1,000 languages by people handing God their own lives, one line at a time. Most of us are content to give God a tip, an hour on Sunday, a check when the plate comes by, the leftovers of a tired week. Frances Havergal handed him the whole account. Paul said it this way in Romans 12:1, "Present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto the God, which is your reasonable service." Not a slice of you, all of you, your hands and your hours, and yes, your silver and your gold. The surprising thing Frances discovered is the more that she gave away, the more joy she had. That box of jewelry was the lightest load she ever carried. So let me ask you, what would change this week if you stopped singing "Take My Life" and started meaning it? And that, friend, is how God lifts up your day.